Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Kepengurusan ini resmi saya kukuhkan.
Sunday the 11th of September 2022 became history as well as a new chapter of the Al-Ittihad Mosque. Because on that day, for the first time since the establishment of the Al-Ittihad Mosque in 2012, the Al-Ittihad Mosque Prosperity Council was inaugurated. The inauguration itself has symbols and meanings, both for the administrators, the congregation and the surrounding residents. For administrators who are elected and entered in the Mosque Prosperity Council, this inauguration has a symbol and meaning to start carrying out the mandate given by the Al-Ittihad congregation. As for the Al-Ittihad congregation, this inauguration becomes a symbol and has a new meaning of hope for changes in the Al-Ittihad environment. With the inauguration of the management of the Mosque Prosperity Council, the congregation really hopes that in the future they can bring the mosque more advanced and prosperous. They hope that all activities related to religious rituals can continue to be improved, or at least religious ritual activities that have been running so far can continue to be held and maintained consistently for the next 5 years, or until the management's term of service ends, and continue to run these activities until the next period management. As for local residents, especially residents of the housing estate, some of them hope that with the newly inaugurated Al-Ittihad Mosque Prosperity Council, they can reunite housing residents in all social activities. Become a driving force for social activities for all residents of housing. This is considered possible by some pilgrims because they see the strategic location of the Al-Ittihad Mosque itself. From the location of the building, the Al-Ittihad Mosque right between the 4 pillars of neighbors associations, namely 28, 70, 71 and 72. Making it possible as a center for socio-religious activities, including a center for the economic empowerment of the people, for residents of housing in 4 pillars of neighborhood associations. When referring to the function of the mosque at the time of the Prophet of Muhammad among others, as a means of fostering faith, fostering Islamic society and strengthening Islamic brotherhood ties. This means that the mosque has a dual function and role, namely as a place for Muslims to worship and get closer to Allah, at the same time acting as a place to build the unity of the congregational bond and mutual cooperation in realizing common prosperity, a place to collect funds, store and share them. In addition, the function and role of the mosque must be a place for Muslims to consult in submitting proposals, difficulties, asking for help and assistance. In short, the mosque is a place to carry out social regulation and supervision. The range of activities and services it is time to deal with the organization and good management, so that the functions and roles mosques can give color and modern breath. And in the end, all the benefits and goodness of the mosque can be felt by the surrounding residents, not least with the Al-Ittihad Mosque. its existence can be useful for housing residents.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Terima kasih kepada Dewan Kemakmuran Masjid Al-Ittihad di Geraha Stadium Sejahtera yang telah memberi kesempatan kepada saya sebagai jamaah masjid untuk dalam hal ini memberikan atau pandangan ataupun masukan di Masjid Al-Ittihad ini, di mana saya sangat senang sekali sebagai jamaah dengan terbentuknya Dewan Kemakmuran Masjid yang baru menggantikan DKM yang lama yang telah habis masa baktinya, sehingga nantinya DKM yang baru dapat lebih bersemangat untuk memakmurkan Masjid Al-Ittihad ini, yang mana mungkin kemarin-kemarin masih belum tersentuh oleh DKM yang lama, sehingga dapat memajukan, menarik dan merangkul jamaah-jamaah masjid yang lain di Masjid Al-Ittihad, khususnya di Perum Geraha Stadium Sejahtera. Demikian mungkin masukan atau pandangan dari jamaah di luar masjid DKM. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum.
Kau yang mengaku cinta kepada nabimu, kau yang mengaku merindukan nabimu, jika kau benar-benar cinta dan rindu kepada Muhammad nabimu.
September 15th, 2022. For the first time, after being inaugurated, the administrators of the Al-Ittihad Mosque Prosperity Council held a meeting at the Al-Ittihad Mosque. The meeting, which was moderated by NGKRING'Z, in addition to discussing preparations for the commemoration of the birthday of the Prophet Muhammad, also discussed religion-based children's education. Al-Ittihad has indeed facilitated this activity, namely by organizing Al-Quran Education Park activities for residential children. The purpose of organizing the Al-Quran Education Park itself, which is in addition to teaching children to read the Quran, also instill in children to love the Quran. This community-based education plays an important role because it can create a generation of Muslims who are obedient to worship and have noble character, form a Quranic society, and instill moral values and character from an early age. At the same time, familiarize the children to go to worship to the mosque. However, in the Al-Quran Education Park, students who are on average 5 to 10 years old. As for those who have graduated from the Quran Education Park, or those who are entering pre-teen and adolescent age, Al-Ittihad has not been able to facilitate them in carrying out activities in the mosque environment. This became a concern and became one of the topics of discussion in the deliberation. Some of them are worried that pre-teens and teenagers in the future will move away from worshipping the mosque and more busy with gadgets and other things that are finally reluctant to go to the mosque.
Yang kita yang jauh di sana, tapi dengan yang saja yang tidak karena berkontribusi akan itu.
Jangan parah betul. Yang ada cuma tongkrong ke masjid nggak main. Dan yang ke masjid itu cuma kayak anak kecil. Kita lihat anaknya.
This is the initial problem, as well as the challenge that the new Mosque Prosperity Council must solve. They must immediately formulate how to solve the problem, so that in the future the children will continue to love the mosque, and the regeneration of young Muslims with noble character will continue.
para pengurus DKM, dan alhamdulillah sudah terlaksana beberapa bagian. Dan selanjutnya bagi saya untuk karena saya ditugasi sebagai koordinatornya TPA, itu alhamdulillah berjalan dengan baik, dan alhamdulillah dari hari ke hari anak-anak semakin bertambah. Dan memang kendalanya yang saya lihat selama ini itu memang selain anak-anak itu kadang sekolah pulangnya sudah sore, itu juga sudah capek. Banyak teman-temannya yang nggak ngaji itu dan mereka bermain. Nah, sehingga itu yang bermain, anak-anak ikutan bermain di sana, sehingga kadang kalau tidak ada dorongan dari orang tuanya itu dia lebih bermain daripada mengaji. Tapi alhamdulillah sudah agak banyak yang ikut mengaji, dan harapan saya untuk DKM ini kalau kami juga tetap disupport, dibantu, sehingga antara bapak-bapak kegiatan bapak-bapak yang melaksana kegiatan ibu-ibu dan anak-anak berjalan selaras dan sesuai yang kita harapkan. Dan satu lagi saya ingin itu kalau kelanjutan dari TPA itu setelah kita anak-anak lulus dari Iqra dan Al-Quran, itu anak-anak sudah usia SMP itu ada kelanjutannya, karena biasanya anak-anak yang usia SMP itu sudah mampu untuk ngaji. Nah, saya ingin ada wadah, yaitu kelanjutan dari TPA adalah TPQ. Jadi di TPQ ini ada pelajaran-pelajaran yang lebih, tidak hanya sekedar ngaji, tapi ada yang tajwid, cara membacanya, atau yang pakai irama. Harapan saya seperti itu. Jadi semua tajwid, pelajaran tajwid ada di TPQ itu. Nah, seperti ini keinginan dan pandangan saya tentang DKM. Mudah-mudahan nanti bisa terlaksana semuanya seperti apa yang kita inginkan. Dan terima kasih. Saya tutup.
Lindung, hujan diudik di sini mendung. Anak siapa pakai kerudung, mata melirik kaki kesandung. Anak siapa pakai kerudung, mata melirik kaki kesandung. La haula wala quwata, mata melihat seperti buta. Tiada daya, tiada upaya, melainkan Tuhan yang Maha Esa.
The screen has been stretched. The Mosque's Prosperity Council has been inaugurated. Some homework needs to be done soon. starting from prospering the Al-Ittihad Mosque. Unite the vision and mission of the congregation who come from various religious organization backgrounds, as well as the professional background of the congregation, including the location of the area of each the congregation itself, which consists of 4 neighborhood associations. All of which must be united and integrated in one vision and mission of Al-Ittihad. For social issues, Al-Ittihad is also expected to be a driving force to unite housing residents sensitive to social issues, especially social problems in residential areas, like inviting his congregation to be able to empathize for those who are experiencing calamity, for the economic problems of the people. Al-Ittihad is expected to be able to become a center for the economic empowerment of the people in residential areas, so as to create an independent welfare society, while at the same time creating food security for pilgrims and residents of housing in the event of a disaster, either on a local or national scale, whose ultimate goal is so that the congregation will not be disturbed in their solemnity in worshipping Allah under any conditions. In short, Al-Ittihad must be the last bastion for food problems for pilgrims and residents in the event of a disaster, which usually causes food insecurity. In addition, for the issue of religious education for children, Al-Ittihad is expected to improve soon, especially in the field of education. Children who have been run by Al-Quran Education Park Manager under the shade, starting from repackaging it to make it more attractive to children, evaluating the curriculum to facilitating it again for students after they have passed Iqra and the Quran, so that for those who have passed Iqra and the Quran, they can still carry out activities at the Al-Ittihad Mosque. All of that became the beginning of the homework for the newly inaugurated Al-Ittihad Mosque Prosperity Council. Can those who are members of the new board carry out the homework that has just begun?